Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Westport Independent, a game about censorship, corruption, and newspapers. It's a rather short game, and I let the intro speak for itself. I tested it a bit to see if it works, how long it is, so on and so forth. And as I said, it is a short game. It's not voiced, so there's a lot to read. I hope you like horrible reading. Let's jump in. Your game will be saved automatically between each week. This is a work of fiction. Names, characters, groups, business, places, events and incidents are either the products of author's imagination or used in a fictitious manner. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events or groups or places is purely coincidental.
The following is an instructional film about the Public Culture Bill for all independent newspapers in Westport. Throughout this film, we'll answer various questions you may have regarding both preparations for the bill and the bill itself. What is the Public Culture Bill? The Public Culture Bill is a new bill that will come into force May 16, 1949, and has been created to improve the quality of independent media outlets. The bill contains certain guidelines for independent media outlets to follow that will make it easier to create media products of utmost quality. In order to make sure that everyone follows these guidelines, the bill will create a government-driven union called the Loyalist News and Media Association that will be mandatory for independent media outlets to join. What's your responsibility until the bill comes into force? Introducing a new bill takes time. Therefore, until the Loyalist News and Media Association is properly set up and the bill has come into force, the Loyalist government has created temporary guidelines for you to follow. Do not print deceitful content that may harm the appearance of our country. Do not print deceitful content that may harm the appearance of the Loyalist government. Do not print deceitful content that may harm the appearance of the President. And do not print deceitful content that may glorify the acts of rebels or other criminals. Do print content that strengthens loyalty towards the government. Do print content that inspires morality in the public. And finally, do print content that heartens propriety in our society. The Loyalist government expects your cooperation in this matter and hopes you understand the consequences of disobedience and or affiliation with disloyal members of the public.
Like I have a choice.
How do I remove improper content from my paper? First, drag an article to your desk. Second, read through the articles and look for fallacies. Third, cross over paragraphs that do not fit with the government guidelines. Fourth, give your article to a journalist so that they can transcribe it. Make sure that you only give them an article you have fully edited, as mistakes can be quite devastating. That is all for this instructional film. Remember that the guidelines presented during this film are for media outlets in Westport only, and is not to be shared with the public.
Sure. Week 0, 12 weeks left until the Public Culture Bill comes into force. Yay! I've got mail. So what do we have? Loyalty, morality, propriety. These are the basis of a civilized society. Okay. Dear editor, Phil has been putting up more loyalist propaganda in the office. You know I can't stand this shit, so I decided to put it down. It should be on your desk together with this note. Frank. Yeah. I'm the editor, and you are my little voices in my head. So who do we have? Anne, parent, lives by the eastern factories, married, went to community college. Her comfort is 50-50. She is trusted by the government, and she leans a bit to the loyalists. Fine. Frank lives alone, no college education, lives by the eastern factories, opposed the loyalists before they came into power. Okay, the government has some suspicions about him, and he has some strong opinions against the loyalists, apparently. Phil, loyalist supporter, lives in the western districts, lives with disabled brother, went to private college, also trusted by the loyalists, and he has a strong opinion against the rebels. Julie, known for having doubtful opinions of the government, went to community college, worked abroad as a freelance writer, and the government has some suspicions about her. So, these are my co-workers. What do we have? Tutorial article number 1, censoring. One of the game's main mechanics is censoring articles. You do this by clicking on paragraphs that seem inappropriate. When censored, that content won't be shown to the public and will affect neither their opinion nor the government's suspicion of you. You can also change the headline by clicking on it. Different headlines can change the portrayal of an article. Welcome to the extraordinary and amazing soon-to-be Game of the Year winner, the Westport and the Bandit. One article denied. Next. Tutorial article number 2, employees. When you have censored an article, it needs to be transcribed. To do this, put it in one of the named folders to the bottom right. The employees all have different opinions, and they will be discussing how you run your paper. They also have their lives to protect, so don't blame them if they don't wish to follow you into death. This part is about your employees. Thank you very much. And that was the tutorial. Loyalist government pursues harsher actions against suspected rebels. A new reform has passed that will hasten the arrests of rebel supporters. The reform consists of exceptions in various privacy laws allowing police to expedite search warrants. Most of these exceptions apply to ex-criminals with relations to the rebels. However, some exceptions also apply to civilians who have expressed disloyal opinions against the government. So, what do we have for headlines? Loyalist government attacks the privacy of civilians. Yep, sounds right. That's what they do. That's what they do. It's a totalitarian government, what do you expect? So, how do we annoy them? The reform consists what do we have much. The Public Culture Bill has been passed. The Public Culture Bill that the government presented last year has today been passed. The purpose of the new bill is to stop the creation and distribution of incorrect and improper content. It will force independent media outlets to either shut down or join the new government-funded union called the Loyalist News and Media Association, LNMA. Words, don't speak them. New bill has been passed, forces independent media outlets to shut down. Yeah, you can do that. So, what do we do with you? Bum, 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 bum. Let's do that. Fine. Julie, you can do it. I know. Send to print. You haven't given every employee an article to write this week. This will affect the content of your paper, which in turn will affect how many papers you will sell. Are you sure you wish to send these articles to print? Yes. The other two were tutorial. So, what do we have? Ah, the restroom. Nice restroom. I won't read that, by the way. Read that for yourselves. And I should click once in a while. Nice music though. Excuse me. The editor is a little bit rough on the voice today. Week 1. 11 weeks left until the Public Culture Bill comes into force. Now. Okay. Last week's sales. Nothing in the northern suburbs. No popularity. And a strong loyalist base there. Western districts. Some popularity. And also a strong base there for the loyalists. Eastern factories. A little bit more popular there. And a less favorable opinion of the loyalists there than those two. And then the southern docks. Pretty good popularity there. And a little bit more on the right side. A little bit more free, let's say that. Oh, no, more tutorial. This bar illustrates your sales. The container represents the people of that district. The like bar illustrates how many of those papers that were sold. The more you sell, the more popular you get. The more popular you get, the more papers you can distribute. People's opinion will affect your sales as well. Excuse me. Likewise, a well-selling paper will also affect the people's opinion. Aha. And this is where we can shut the government down. So, yay, suspicious. We get suspicion and the rebels like us a little bit more. And our total popularity has risen. Hooray. And I got mail. From whom? There's nothing more heartbreaking than a misguided public. In a world controlled by the media, the loyalist government will stop at nothing to protect the people from frivolous lies and irresponsible gossip. The public culture bill is for your protection. Loyalty, morality, propriety. The Loyalist Party of Westport, 1949. So, what? Ooh, a lot more stories. Ow. New youth group founded to educate the nation's children. Yesterday, the government announced the formation of a new youth group titled Loyalist Youth. The goal is to offer fun and educational activities for intercity children, such as hiking and camping. Children will also be taught loyalist values and earn ranks based on their knowledge and behavior. Loyalists attempt to indoctrinate the nation's youth. So, Anne got some suspicion. Julie, Phil. That's an article for you. So, Ow. Fashion designer's secret lover speaks out. Vera Vesana has reached the public stage with accusations of sexual deviancy from a formerly employed model. The female model claims to have traded intimate favors only to get fired after falling out. The agency claims the model in question was let go due to alcohol abuse. As of yet, Vesana has made no comments to the claims. So, what's the second title? Former model slanders designer. Let's be a bit more civilized about that one. So, the female model claims to have traded intimate favors. Sounds juicy. Well, let's give that to you. Now, fire an apartment complex. Removal Industries lays off 400 employees. Man attacks police officer. Man attacks police officer. One teenager was caught writing rebel messages on walls close to Liberty Square. A police officer witnessed the act and intervened by tackling the teenager. The arrest was interrupted by a passerby who pulled the officer away from the teenager. Both the man and the teenager were arrested when the officer's partner arrived on the scene. Oh, come on. Are you serious? They are. New loyalty reviews for government employees. To determine allegiance among government employees, a new policy of loyalty reviews was announced today. Representatives assure that they will handle delicately and only use them in rare cases. Sure. These will be mandatory for all employees who are not members of the Loyalist Party. The same goes for employees with immigrant backgrounds. What do we have here? New government policy to weed out dissenters in the public sector. Let's do that. Jesus fucking Christ! Excuse me. Send to print. Phil, you are getting fired. Case for Frank. Yes. Point for Phil. But the policeman went overboard. 10 weeks left. Ooh, we got some sales in the northern suburbs. Oh boy. We have a strong influence on the southern decks. Really strong influence. You got mail. What do we have here? Dear editor, one of your employees, Frank, has recently written quite a few questionable articles for your paper. We expect you to show your people proper discipline in order to prevent events such as these, especially since the regarded employee has a history of disloyal behavior. You will do well to remember that reluctance in this matter will reflect poorly not only on your employees, but on you as well. The Loyalist Party of Westport. Okay. As tyrants grow, so does the need for civil disobedience. When police attack innocent civilians, it's up to us to stop them. Justice is in the hands of the public, not in the hands of pigs. Join the rebellion now. Workers against oppressors, numbers against class. Dear editor, as the fat piglets of Westport are too busy stuffing their faces with government-sponsored treats to tell the difference between innocence and guilt, we are going to start having some pleasant shouting parties outside the barns. We have already held our first one. We invite you and anyone else you know to our second event next week. We've got to reach those porky ears at some point. Best regards, your friendly rebel neighbor. What do you want? Dear editor, as you are probably aware by now, when we were finally able to stop the notorious Northern Herald from spreading their lies to the public, we were also forced to shut down their affiliated marketing agency. As it so happens, your paper, the Westport Independent, used the same agency. This means that from now on, you will have to take care of advertising yourselves. Additionally, because of your affiliation with the perpetrators, we'll be keeping a close eye on you for the time being. The Loyalist Party of Westport. Great. Yay! Government burns books in Liberty Square. Yesterday, Liberty Square lit up as police officers started burning books. Excuse me. The event was a result of months of collecting books from various libraries and stores. The collected books were works supporting anti-government sentiments. Some protesters arrived at the scene, but were easily held back by police. Government prevents the spreading of rebel propaganda. Nope! We'll take that. Rebels assault trade convoy en route. Never mind. Rebels assault trade convoy on the way to Westport. Last night a number of delivery trucks entering Westport were attacked. According to testimony, a group of masked individuals intercepted the trucks at a customs checkpoint. Threatening the drivers, the men emptied the trucks, leaving their contents. Westport City Police have officially labeled the event as rebel activity. The Northern Herald shuts its doors. Today, after almost a century of publication, the popular magazine The Northern Herald released its final issue. Its sudden dismantlement was due to violations of the guidelines set up in preparation for the public culture bill. The paper's marketer, which was responsible for advertising several of Westport's other independent newspapers, was also shut down. Okay, Phil. Are you serious? No. Give me the Northern Herald. Vandalism in the northern suburbs. Several broken windows and paint-smeared walls were found around the northern suburbs. The paint spelled out phrases such as "Down with the government, freedom to the people." A local rebel group is believed to be responsible. The police have already apprehended 7 suspects. Okay. Yes, he can do that. So, protesters outside police station. Yesterday afternoon, a group of around 300 people gathered outside Liberty Square Police Department in protest. The group protested the recent arrest of a local man for protecting a suspected rebel teen from a police officer. The police retaliated by dispatching the riot police, who arrested several of the participants. So, let's do that. Ouch. Yes. Let's do it. More tutorial. Pick articles from here and drag them to an empty page in the paper. Put an article here. The further forward you put an article in the paper, the more exposure it'll get. Then I want... What do I want? The Northern Herald. Click on the right half of the paper to turn the page. Click on the left half to turn to the previous page. Click here to move on to marketing. Nope. Not yet. So let's give 10% here. And I should read the tutorial bubbles. So, northern suburbs. Population about 75,000. Main industries. Government sectors. Legal bureaus. Article preferences. Celebrity news and industrial news. Background. The upper class district of Westport has very few inhabitants, but those who do live there have more money than most of the people of Westport could ever dream of. So the Western districts. Population about 150,000. Main industries, cafes and restaurants, bureaucratic agencies. Article preferences, crime and celebrity news. Background. The middle class district of Westport. While it is smaller and wealthier than the eastern factories and the Thousand Dogs, it is not as wealthy nor as small than the northern suburbs. Eastern factories. Population about 225,000. Main industries. Heavy industries and steel mills. Article preferences. Societal news and industrial news. Background. The industrial part of Westport, and also the dirtiest. The people who live here have it pretty harsh. But at least almost everyone has a job in the factories to support their families. Now the Southern Dogs. Population about 300,000. Main industries. Shipping and logistics and fishing. Article preferences. Societal and crime. Background. The slums of Westport. The eastern factories may be the dirtiest part of Westport, but the Thousand Dogs is by far the most rundown. Here unemployment is high and homelessness even higher. Despite this, a little over half of Westport's population lives here. Great. So... let's do that. Let's rally them. Poor John. Poor John. Nine weeks left. Yay. Okay. 2,000 dogs are rallied up. Hooray. Ow. I may have overdid it. I may. You've got mail. Okay. Let's read the mail and call it then. Dear editor, one of your employees, Julie, has for the last few weeks created content for your paper that can only be described as disloyal. Her frivolous behavior of jumping from nest to nest has made her lose sight of her roots. Her naive mind must be taught the position she is in. If not, punishment will fall on both of your heads. So if not, punishment will punishment will fall on both of your heads. The Loyalist Party. Yay! Openly threatening me. And now. Dear editor, I have caught the flu, so I'll be staying at home this week. See you again on Monday, Frank. Well, poor Frank. But what can we do if he gets the flu? Good night, everyone.